Welcome everybody. Welcome back to the Madden 20 Carolina Panthers franchise. As you can see, new head coach Mike Tomlin will lead a new era in Carolina Panthers football. For the 2021 season, it is looking like the Panthers roster is shaping up to be possibly a Super Bowl contender. You can see the overall is 82, 83 offense, 83 defense. Look at the offense real quick. Offensive line is going to look like this. Greg Little will once again be the left tackle. He's a 73 overall. This will be his third year in the league. His second year as the starting left tackle. Kyle Long, a 77 overall. He's on a one-year deal. Signed him in free agency. He is going to be a definite upgrade over Brandon Fusco that we've had the last couple of years. Matt Paradis remains the center. He's on his last year of his 3-year contract. He is an 86 overall. Trey Turner will be the right guard once again, 82 overall. And Taylor Moton once again is the right tackle. He actually made the Pro Bowl last year, surprisingly. And Greg Olsen has retired, and Ian Thomas will be the tight end for this season and possibly going forward. He's a 75 overall, so he's going to get his chance to move forward as the Panthers starting tight end. At the wide receiver spot, nothing much has changed here. We've got DJ Moore, who is actually an X Factor player now, going into his third season in the league. He is a superstar X Factor. His X Factor ability is the double me ability. So he's an aggressive receiver who overpowers defenders and attacks the football. When he enters the zone, this ability increases his success rate on aggressive catches against single coverage. So DJ Moore led the NFL in receiving yards last year. And with that X Factor ability, he could possibly be unstoppable. So he joins Cam Newton and Christian McCaffrey as the X Factor players, and Curtis Samuel. He is a superstar player, hasn't reached the X Factor yet. And I did sign Timmy Crockett to a one-year deal to be the fullback this year. He is a second-year player from Ohio. And also on the defensive side, we'll look at that. I did sign Trent Murphy to be the right defensive end, but you can see this front seven for Carolina. Now, I know Daniel Linder's overall rating is only 71, but he did have 8 sacks last year as a rookie. He's a good pass rusher, made some plays also in the run game. So his rating is only 71, but he plays better than that 71. But this front seven, I mean, you look at Trent Murphy, K'Wan Short, and Greg Wolfe. He was our first-round draft pick. He's got a hidden development trait. He's a speed rusher from Georgia Tech, rookie out of Georgia Tech. We will see if we can get that dev trait unhidden. We'll see what if we can unlock that dev trait, what it is. But he is going to be the left defensive end. So you look at this front seven. I mean, Kuechly's a 99, Shaq Thompson an 80, Brian Burns is a 91. Not an X Factor player yet. And then you look at the secondary. We did sign Richard Sherman in the offseason to a one-year, $11.5 million deal. He's 33 years old, but he's still an 88 overall cornerback, and he has got the X Factor ability, the same as Luke Kuechly's, which is the shutdown. So he can has the ability to erase receivers from the game when he enters the zone. His coverage is tighter, interceptions are more frequent on contested catches. So Richard Sherman, I mean, he is going to bolster this secondary. It was kind of a weakness last year. Again, the defense was number 1 overall, but definitely the secondary was the weakness on the defense last year. So You pair Richard Sherman up with Dante Jackson, who is in a contract year this year and an 84 overall. James Bradbury will go to the nickel spot. He is an 81 overall. So this is shaping up to be, the best defense that I've had in this franchise, and one of the best defenses the Panthers have ever had. And they've had some good defenses. But you put in DeMonte KZ, who's taken over for Eric Reed, who was released in the offseason. And Melifonwu, like Daniel Linder, he's a player that he kind of outperforms his rating, which is only 75, but he outperforms that on the field because of some of the other attributes like his speed and his catching abilities and all that. So this is shaping up to be potentially a Super Bowl roster. We'll have to see how it goes. Mike Tomlin is the new coach, and he'll bring a new style of coaching to the team. We'll have to see how the team responds to that. But we'll look at the schedule here, and then I'll get up out of here with this season preview. So in the regular season, the season opener is going to be at Washington against the Redskins. That's another team that could potentially, they're looking like a Super Bowl contender. They had a good year last year, won 10 games, won the NFC East. And I saw, when I was going through free agency, I saw a lot of the top free agents were going to Washington. So Washington is going to be a tough team. That's a tough game right off the bat, going against the Redskins, and then we'll be at home against the Buccaneers. They're going through a transition again. They've got a new coach again. So the Buccaneers still kind of dwindling as a franchise. And then we got at Buffalo. That's going to be a tough game. Of course, Sean McDermott was a long time defensive coordinator in Carolina. But the Washington's been to the playoffs the last couple of years, and they were the AFC champions. I believe they were the AFC champions, lost to the Rams 33-10 in the Super Bowl. So the Buffalo Bills, we will have to go to their place. That's going to be a tough game. The Saints, now Drew Brees did retire, so I don't know who I believe Teddy Bridgewater is probably still their quarterback. I'll have to look that up for y'all real quick before I get out of here. But the Saints at home, so the Saints aren't going to, they'll probably still have a dominant defense, but that team is not going to be what they used to be without Drew Brees. The Jets at Miami. The Giants at Philadelphia. That's always tough to go there. The Vikings, they're a team in transition right now. And then the bye week is week 10, so we've got a mid-season bye week. That's kind of like the sweet spot where you want it to be. You don't want it to be too early. You don't want it to be too late to kill momentum late in the season. So having it at week 10, right at the midway point, that's where you want it. Dallas, that's going to be a tough game. They were in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. They lost to the Browns in the Super Bowl. Then at Saints, and then the Falcons. Now they went 14-2, but I saw several of their players. Like we signed DeMonte KZ. He was on the Falcons last year. I saw Tack McKinley. He was a free agent, did not re-sign with the Falcons. So I saw a couple of their bigger defensive players on free agency. So it'll be interesting to see. Of course, they went 14-2 last year, but were unable to win the Super Bowl. Had the best record in the NFL in the regular season. And then we've got a home game against the Patriots here in week 15. The Patriots went 13-3 last year, went to the AFC Championship game and lost to the Bills. I believe they went to the championship game and lost to the Bills last year. So the Patriots are still tough. And then at Cardinals, they're a team that's still kind of rebuilding. They finished, I believe, 7-9 or 8-8 last year. So they're a team that's still rebuilding with Kyler Murray. And then at home against the Falcons late in the season. So that's kind of a look at the schedule. Nothing too crazy. Not like some Madden schedules are wonky. Like you'll end up with 5 straight home games or 5 straight road games. So thankfully, last year we had 4 straight road games down at the end of the season. So thankfully, it's not a crazy schedule that you can get sometimes with Madden. But one thing I do want to look at before I get out of here is I want to see who's the quarterback for the Saints. I want to see this. So the quarterback is going to be Zach Everett. He's a rookie, so they're going with a rookie quarterback that they drafted. a 72 overall. So he's got throwing power 90. Accuracy leaves something to be desired, but he does have a 86 speed, 85 acceleration. It looks like he's probably a scrambler. He's an improviser, so he's like Cam, and he's got a hidden development trait. So it'll be interesting to see what Zach Everett can do for the Saints as the new era of Saints football begins. So the Panthers not the only team that's in transition in the NFL, but anyway, I'll get up out of here. So expectations for the season for Mike Tomlin, of course, is going to be Super Bowl run. The Panthers went out and addressed a lot of weaknesses, a lot of needs in free agency. Didn't just rely on trying to get those players in the draft. So the Panthers, they've spent the money this year, and it's definitely going to be Super Bowl or bust. So anyway, I'll get up out of here, y'all, and we'll see what happens with the 2021 Panthers.